video. This will be the video that I told you before in the last video that I would make. So it is Lego The Lord of the Rings custom figures. Alright, I told you that I had 2 figures plus more that I have found out on the way. But one of them I have redesigned now. So yeah. Right, so the first figure we're gonna look at is not one of those 2. This figure is one of the main characters, and he is really brave, and I think I've pretty good design. I designed him pretty well. Pippin in Gondor armor. Alright, so we see that he has the same head as Pippin, the same sword, but then come the differences. I use this helmet to all Gondor soldiers, and then this chest plate has the same color as the helmet, but it is shiny. I have 2 chest plates that are not shiny, but this one is shiny because I think Pippin looks better in that form. Alright, and because it is Pippin's head, it has the same features as Pippin has. He has grey legs that will represent armor, the leggings of the armor. And this is also a variant of him, Pippin Gondor armor without helmet. And he has gloves because I think it looks good with them. And if we take a look what it is for torso, we see it's Snape's from Lego Harry Potter. And it is that because it was a good torso that, yeah, if he wouldn't have the torso now, he looks good. Because there is a scene where he isn't wearing his chest plate. So, or no, I'm wrong. Sorry. He don't have a chest plate. Or well, he has, but he has a leather jacket over it. A black leather jacket. And I think this looks most like it. And no back printing, and that is not needed because the back is totally hidden with that. Alright, so that was Pippin and Gondor armor. I've made, I think, 7 more figures than him. No, 11 more. Yeah. So, I'm gonna continue now. And I will continue with Gandalf the White. Alright, so here we have him. His staff is the same as he uses in both the video game and in Lego's design, even though he is not released yet. He has a white beard, because he's white, and unfortunately I don't have any white hair. I don't think there are any white hair actually. And I am not going to print anything because I'm happy to be one of the few YouTubers that actually makes customs figures without any printings or any using of clay or something. However, the stuff is the same as that, and it's the same as Gandalf uses when he is designed by Lego, but then he has brown. But I have redesigned the stuff with help of the video game. Alright, so if we take a look of the other things, we see that the torso is Luke Skywalker's from Lego Star Wars. The head is Gandalf's, legs are white, and then a grey here, and no back printing. I think he's pretty good. And I know that he actually has a short beard, and I actually have a short beard, and I will show that figure who uses it later. But I don't think that beard is not good to Gandalf, because the eyes are halfly hidden. Right, so that was Gandalf the White. Let's continue with a ring wraith. This is the figure that I told you that I redesigned. Before, he had a plain black torso and then original black cloak, and then he had not this sword, but this figure I designed actually for 2 days ago, and he has this sword, and it is not that. Both proves that I have the ring wraiths, which means I have the attack and weather top, and that was actually before the video, the Hobbit video. I made a review on the weather top. You can check it out after this video if you want. So the cloak is Batman's, and the torso is the Emperor's, because it was a torso that looked most like the ring wraith torso. And I designed this figure because I found out a good way to have the Witch King of Angmar, and that meant I was needed to have. And then one sword got away, and so I decided to make another ring wraith, because I have actually found out a better sword, because in the video game the Witch King of Angmar has a different sword than the other ring wraiths. And this figure has no back printing and no head printing. And I'm gonna continue with some Nazgûl stuff. So we continue with ring wraith in twilight, which means when Frodo puts on the ring at Weathertop, he don't see the ring wraiths that look. He don't see the ring wraiths like this. He sees them how they look, how they actually look. So let's take a look at them. Alright, sorry. I know that this is not the Twilight. You may guess that even though. But I just wanted to show you how the real ring wraith look, and because this is a special designed cloak, but I actually think that they look pretty the same actually, except for the cloaks. Alright, that was all. Now we go to the ring wraith in Twilight. So prepare yourself. Here we go. He has a ring wraith sword, And the design on this you will understand when I show you the other Twilight figure, the Witch King of Angmar in Twilight. So yeah, actually it would be good if we put him in at the same moment so that I can show you him meanwhile I show you the ring wraith, so that you really will understand why I made this one with a skeleton head and then that helmet and then a grey beard. You will understand it when I show you my custom Angmar. So here he is. And as I told you, he don't have the same sword as the ring wraith, so I took him to have a black sword from the Knight's Kingdom theme. He also comes with a Morgul dagger or Morgul blade that he stabs Frodo with. And now you may understand. Actually, I don't have two white beards, so it would be good if this one also have. So actually, if I could decide how they will look, and could freely, and if I would have tons of every Lego piece ever, then the Twilight minifigure would look like this. Since they look exactly like the Witch King of Angmar, except for that the Witch King has some spikes on the helmet and he has another sword. But this is the actual design of them. And then I don't have two Voldemorts either, because this is the head of Voldemort. And I think the beard was because that was the only good white torso I had, and it was to hide that thing. And I thought that a long beard would be good. So yeah. And this helmet is going to represent a long helmet piece of this one. But however, he has this sword, the Morgul dagger, and this is actually the Hobbit sword that you, not Mary's, but the other one that you get to Weathertop. And then I have made him try to look exactly the same. Oof. Right. Now I'm going to show you the Witch King on the Pellenor fields. And he looks like this. His sword is the same as before, of course, but now he looks like the Nazgûl, and his helmet is... It was the best helmet I could get actually. And there's nothing more to say about it. But just that, then you can understand that this is the Witch King in Nazgûl form. Alright, now we take... we're going to have Saruman now. So here we have him. I tried to make the staff as it looks in Lego's design, but actually I designed the staff before I have seen the pictures, so I took the staff after the video game, and this piece is supposed to be white, but except for that the staff is identical with the staff that Saruman is going to have. Alright. White legs, and the same design as on Gandalf. Grey hair. It's only the head and beard that are the difference. And it is the beard you see now and then that Snape's head. And the beard I took was because I think that Saruman actually he should have a long beard, but the white beard, or he actually has a grey beard, but he has white hair, and that's impossible for me to make. I would be needed to paint, and that I don't want. So this was what I could get, and I know that I could have turned on it, and to make him have a white beard and grey hair, like this, but I don't think that's so good, actually. Plus that it would be, if I just would put away the stuff and take this and do like that, then you would think it would be Gandalf. Plus that I don't have two white beards, and I want them to. Actually, I have them when I have them both in a scene at once, and that's what's the problem. So that was Saruman, and now we're gonna take Saruman's advisor, Gríma Wormtongue. So here he is. He has Lucius Malfoy's torso, and actually cloak also. A Mandalorian's head, because it was a good face that I could find, and except for the eyebrows, he looked really good, because he looks like he looks evil and a person that tries to poison stuff. His hair is the same as Snape's, and the same hair as he's going to have when he's released in the Tower of Orthanc. And from the beginning, I designed him like this, but then I thought that when I saw Lego's design of him, because when I designed this one, I have only seen him on the movies and in the video game, but when Lego designed him, I thought that it would be good to have a cloak to him. Alright, now I'm gonna take King Théoden when he's cursed. So, here we go. This idea actually is not I who found out it, but I've just made it a bit better. I found an idea on this at Lego.com on the gallery on the Lord of the Rings site. You may actually have seen it, because then he had a short grey hair here, and he had no cloak. But I think he should have a cloak. And here you also see the torso. He has Gandalf's beard and Frodo's head, and it's because the eyes represents that something's wrong with him. And he has a stick, a walking stick, because Gríma has made him think that he is 1578 years old. No, that was just a joke. But he thinks he's old, and he looks like an old man, actually. So he has Obi-Wan's torso, and legs, and cloak, actually, also. Gandalf's beard, and then Dumbledore's hairstyle. Now we're gonna take Elrond. He is actually, I think this is just the right head for Elrond, because he's in The Hobbit, he's happy, but in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he's almost happy when he says, "Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins," and in the scene when Aragorn gets crowned, in the ending scene of the Return of the King. Alright, he has black elven hair. Or not elven hair, but I think this looks like elven hair. Except for the ears. And the design of the torso is just because it looks good. And then the cloak, a black cloak. Now we're gonna take a cool figure, and we're gonna take, alright, I think all of these are cool, but this one is the coolest one. Aragorn at the Black Gate. Right. The first thing you think is, I guess, the sword. You may think he has not the sword as Lego has designed him with, and that's true, because to difference to Lego, and I, and all the other Lord of the Rings fans, think that Aragorn should be designed with Andúril. So I actually have the Sword of Gryffindor that most of the fans are used, but unfortunately it is in my big Lego box that I guess contains some kilos of Legos. So if I would search for a sword, it would take 1 day, because there are actually, it would be on the bottom, and it will be really hard. So instead of that, I will only do that when I lose the design of this one. So this was Andúril, and it is also a sword from the Knights Kano theme. This figure has Aragorn's head and hair, and he has a red cape because Lego made him with a red cape. Boromir's legs, because that are the legs that looks most like the legs he has. And then this torso. I choose it because it has the same color as the legs. I mean this part of the legs now. And it looks like a fighting torso. And Aragorn has a double head, so he can go slay some orcs. And he has no back printing, and he's not needed to have that. So the figures are actually running away. But now I'm going to show you the Lóthlorien Elf soldier. He has the same helmet as the Witch King of Angmar, because I don't have any golden helmet or something. An elven bow, and then some of this. And you also have a torso that is red on the arms, because that has the Elves of Lothlorien. And he has this head because it looks angry. And alright, that failed, but I don't have so much battery on this camera, so I can't unfortunately take the scene again. But what happened was that my dad shouted my name and wanted to have this camera, but I told him that he couldn't, and you hear the shout in the video, unfortunately. But you know my name actually, so it doesn't matter. But now I really have to speed up. And actually, what I showed you before was actually all, I think. He has these legs because I think they're actually good to him. Alright, let me see. Alright, I'm going to speed up this. Frodo at Mount Doom. The ring, dirty legs. The same face, because he gets cursed when he puts the ring on his finger. And this torso because he's supposed to have that. Frodo. Alright, there's one more figure. and this is a very old design. This design was the design of Aragorn for 1 year ago. Before, when I just had became a Lord of the Rings fan, I thought this would be good to Aragorn. But then later, and then I thought that, you know, this sword this sword that Aragorn actually has, I took that, that was when I got the Might of Moria. I used that to Aragorn, because it was the only sword I had that was different, because I used this sword to all the others. But now when I have the real Aragorn, I use this sword to Andúril instead. And he has these legs, because Aragorn has printings on the legs. Unfortunately, I wasn't sure of why, but now I know that it is of his robe. And his robe is Indiana Jones' torso. He also has Indiana Jones' head and hair. No, Aragorn's hair. And that was all, I think. So, yeah, that was Aragorn. I know that this was maybe not the best video, but I wanted to have so much in such a small video. So, I'm sorry for what happened, but unfortunately I couldn't do so much better. I'm sorry. But that was all, I think. Now I don't have any more planned video, except for the video in the video. What is it called? Lego Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides Part 4. But I haven't checked actually, so I'm not saying anything. But what I said was that if the last part would get over 600 views, then I would start working on it. And when I record this, and when I last checked, I saw that it had 570 views, and I checked it the day before yesterday. So it may have reached 600 views, but if it has, I will start work on it in the weekend, if I get time. And the weekend, and when I record this, it's Thursday, so it means in 2 days I will record it, and then that means it will probably, if it has 600 views now, the next part will probably come up next week. So that was all. Thank you for watching, and subscribe, rate and comment.